All right, here we are, another week around the trash fire. Your host, Matthias. On with the boy.
John.
Well, I'm sure you're both blessed with a what is it? You're blessed with a curse. You got a good blessing and a bad and a curse to go along with the news that we have today, John.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. Can't wait to discuss more about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Gonna be
that
fun.
that's going on. We got new previews coming out this week as well. Is it this week?
Yes,
Yes, it
this
is the
weekend,
week.
Saturday.
Whole bunch of stuff coming out.
Right or Friday? Friday. Anyways, yeah. We'll talk about it more.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about. All for this jam-packed end of the year. So, without further ado, I say let's just jump into this. Starting with the most mundane thing we got here, we got the Joy Toys. We got ourselves a Rogal Dorn, which looks okay. I
It's
know.
actually pretty crazy. It's a 30K prime mark. Getting a Joy Toy.
Well, I mean, he ain't coming to 40K anytime soon.
This is true.
As much as some people would want, but he's got his different variants there. Was he always a chainsaw? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, he's had a chain. In 30K, he has a chain sword.
Okay.
Does not have a power fist, interestingly enough.
Yeah, but I don't know much about Rogal Dorn, but here he is, adding to the big collection. I know a certain Imperial Fist player that'll be surely happy to get this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there we go, Rogal Dorn. You can finally run him on the 40K board now with his brand new model. And then of course they show off Gilliman and the Lion, previous Joy Toys. But that is coming. Uh quick old world news. They basically just go over the shooting phase. Not much, if I recall, really changed here.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Nothing really to. I guess AP is different now. Actually, I guess AP exists now.
Yeah, AP exists now.
It used to be it used to. It's weird because it existed just. So how it worked is there was no AP, but if your strength was 4 or higher, you modified saves by -1 depending on your strength. So essentially, if you had strength 4, you automatically had AP -1, and strength 5 was AP -2, strength 3 was AP -3, etc., etc. But now they just made it a stat, it seems. I guess it's more granular now and not just like tied to strength, which I kind of like, but at the same time,
I mean, it's still kind of tied to strength. I mean, if you just look at the longbow example and the screaming
right,
skull
yeah, strength
catapult.
4 is -1, strength 8 is -3. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it seems to be still tied to strength, which I like. I like that. I think for fantasy it's good because there's not a lot of weapons in fantasy. It's literally like, well, at least back when I played, um,
Okay, old
which
man.
is seventh edition. It was just like hand weapon, spear, two-handed weapon. I think it was in eighth edition where they had like swords, axes,
Great swords.
great swords. Yeah, I'm not sure. I forget how granular it was, but I remember swords had a special rule. Well, it did it in seventh edition, but yeah, it's not like 40K where you have melta guns, shuriken catapults, bolt guns, flesh borers, gauss rifles, where each weapons need things to make it different. I mean, yeah, there's like screaming skull catapults, but for the most part, it just functions like a catapult, you know.
It's a catapult. It
So
just has flaming
abilities, rules.
attacks.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a thing that throws a thing using a catapult like structure, not like a gauss rifle versus a shuriken catapult, right? So I think having that kind of strength to AP thing makes sense. It's less granular, but makes sense with the limited amount of weapons.
Of course, you have to use the good old little templates and the scatter dice and the misfire dice. Ah, good times, good times.
Yep. Ballistic skill is still not a fan of. I don't know. It makes no sense, right? Like, why not just have the hit value? Because you don't compare ballistic skill to anything. It just says depending on your ballistic skill, you get a value. So if it's a 2, it's a 5, it's a 4, it's a 3. It's like, why not just put the 3? I guess if there's modifiers where your ballistic skill is modified, but even then, like, then just -1 to hit, right, or whatever. I think if there was like a ballistic skill check, that would make sense. But as far as we know, there isn't. So that's the only thing where even in 30K, it still doesn't make sense to me to have a ballistic skill. Just put the value to hit in the profile.
I like to keep it old school.
I guess it's the only reason, because it's how it was, and Old World is trying to make it as it was as much as possible. So.
And of course, you got the BS6 of higher. And then the wound chart. Man, haven't seen this in 7th edition.
I see it all the time because
I know you play Heresy.
But yeah, no, this thing is a relic of the ages for sure.
Back when Blitz's skill, or sorry, Strength 4 couldn't do any damage to Toughness 10.
It's actually not as punishing in Heresy, because in Heresy, Strength 4 cannot hurt Toughness 8 or 9.
Right, because it's doubled out, right?
Double, yeah, you generally can't hurt double. Strength 3 could not hurt Toughness 7, for example, in Heresy. But yeah, that's the classic wound chart.
Classic wound chart right here. Yeah, not much to say. I mean, it's not a bad system.
Yeah, it works.
But I don't miss it either, so.
Is it archaic? Yes, but I guess that's the point.
There you go. That's that, and that's I mean, that's pretty much it. And then obviously they go over some battle magic spells here. Fireball, cast value 8, range 24. Suffers 2d6 hits, strength 4, each with the AP 0. Flaming special rule. So I assume that'll come into play with mummies.
Mm-hmm.
They're flammable, since that is a keyword. And then you got a Vortex of Chaos, which looks like a small blast template. Nothing will be as damaging as a Purple Sun. That was brutal back in the day for undead and wizards. Basically anyone with low and ish. So that's all coming back. Not that big of a news story, to be honest, but for those who never played classic fantasy, this is what you got prepare yourself for. Then you obviously go over the volley special rule. Interesting stuff, but I think it's time we get on to the big news. The Sunday preview.
Freaking finally.
And here we go. We got 30K Epic coming to sale, just out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
I know they've been building it up by showing models every week, but now they just like, all right, time to drop it. Which I was wrong. I assumed this was gonna be more Christmas release, but
I think it's gonna be next year.
Yeah, I know. But sorry, John. I guess you're gonna have to put all your projects on hold because it's coming out.
No, I can work on 2 things at once. It's okay.
Well,
Especially because Epic, it's gonna be quick paint job. It's not like, I mean, the things that I will want to paint to super high quality I have already finished, which are the Titans. The infantry, like I'm not gonna edge highlight these freaking Marines that are the size of my fingernail. You know, they're gonna be dry brushed like quickly. So that's a flip side, but also I usually only work on two things at once, and right now I'm working on BattleTech and Cities of Sigmar, and I wanted to work on Cities of Sigmar and Dark Angels because my BattleTech is pretty much almost done. I just have like essentially I have one more lands to paint, 6 models. But yeah, with Epic coming out in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, because pre-order on the weekend, then 2 weeks out it's going to release. Because of that, then I'm gonna have to shelve the Dark Angels project for the Shields feature because we'll talk more about Hobby Rants, but I made good progress on my Cities of Sigmar, and I want to keep that going. So after Battletech's done, I'm just gonna work on Epic, and Dark Angels can be next year. I mean, I was kind of working on them for a league that was next year anyway, so just do that. But yeah.
But yeah,
Also, stealth. Wait, did they add the 6? Oh, they changed it. Oh. There was a picture of the box that had the Kratoses, but they took it out. No Kratoses.
next time, next time.
Next time.
But yeah, big box. It's probably gonna be $200.
It's actually $200. That's correct.
Oh, there you go. $200 right here for what do we get? Space Marines and humans.
Yes, and Solar Ox. I will probably look to pawn or trade or whatever my Solar Ox for yet more Space Marines.
Oh, okay. I think I'll pick this up. I think I will jump into the mini Horus
Are you gonna do
Heresy.
Space Marines or are you gonna do humans?
Well, that's a good question. I feel like I should do Space Marines because I want to do the Salamanders as my army. But I need to see the rules a little more. I gotta see uh how awesome the flamethrowers are gonna be, you know?
For sure, for sure.
So, I won't jump into an army just yet, but I'll probably pick the box up just to have a starter. See what I like to play, but at $200 for all that. And then of course they're selling the rulebook hardback on its own. And then we're just going over all the models here. Terminators, Space Marines. I'm sure John can identify a lot of these already. I can tell you what every individual unit is here. Those are Devastators over there on the left.
Yep, heavy support squad, the Terminators, the Assault Marines, which is kind of cool. Attack Marines, command squads. Good stuff.
You get the tanks, get the Rhinos, Thunderhawk, the humans, Baneblades, the Flyers, the Titans, all of them. Some terrain, which I guess I would have to pick up. Does it come in the box? It does.
No, there's no terrain in the
Damn.
box.
Of course, they make you buy it separate.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because things are bigger than we think they are. So I think using like other terrain, as long as it's not like obviously out of scale, like a house. A house is going to be ginormous if you play in epic scale. But if like a building, like buildings are huge. Like reminder that we have IRL structures bigger than Warlord Titans. We have a lot of them that are bigger than Warlord Titans. So having ginormous buildings is pretty like makes sense. Now these do give a sense of scale where they're tinier buildings, but yeah, I think more natural terrain like rocks, to represent like big hills and stuff. That would be more appropriate than like actual buildings. But even buildings will, depending on the building, will work for terrain.
We got that. We got the little map, city road tiles, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
The cards for Astartes and Solar Arcs, which I would advise getting, not get. Bases. When I get base some of the models, extra bases, I guess. The Aeronautica base. This looks like just a map. And that is that. That is all the 30k epic. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff coming, but it's a lot of stuff they've been showing every Thursday, so it's not all new, but it's just new that it's finally coming out. And we can finally get our hands on it. You said 3 weeks?
3 weeks from now.
So December 3rd. No.
Yep, December 3rd. Yeah,
December 9th. Or
is it a 3rd? I think it's the 3rd.
no, because
The 2nd. Sorry.
2nd. Right.
Yeah.
I was looking at Sunday. So I said the 3rd. Alright, so December 2nd. So it's close. Still Christmas release. So I'm technically right. But that is coming out. 40k. Got some made to order if you want to get Red Eye or a classic Lictor. Sorry, not Red Eye, Red Terror. I guess just for nostalgia if you want to have them. The Lictor's okay. Red Terror's kind of, I mean, it's unique. It's unique, but it's definitely old. Black Library, we got Dawn of Fire, Sea of Souls, if you want to continue the Dawn of Fire series. Gets its limited edition book. Mortal Realms, going softcover. More AOS getting softcovers. Caiaphas Cain, print on demand, so if you want to own the books, you can get those made to order. Books being translated into other languages. Warhammer Plus, we'll see what 30k Epic will look like. Lore Master on the Banshees, I will assume. And how to paint the checkers. Your Titans. And that's it. It's a lot of stuff coming out. But with the 2-week release, I would assume news will be a little bit slower in terms of what's coming out. Especially, I mean, this week's going to be jam-packed when the event happens, but the coming weeks for models, I think, will be pretty slim. Other than probably whenever they decide to release a codex. It's obviously not December 2nd. So probably a week after that. But yeah. Sunday preview, jam-packed. Since we're on the 30k rise, let's look at the other 30k Thursday that we got. We got the Storm Seal or Seer console. And I don't know how I feel about it. I don't really like it. What's your thoughts, Mr. 30k?
I mean, okay. If I played White Scars, I would like it a lot, actually. But it doesn't make me want to play White Scars, if that makes sense. Like, oh, this is cool, but yeah, it's not like a model where it's like, ooh, I want to play White Scars because I want this aesthetic. But I imagine if I was a White Scars player, I would like what's going on here. That said, again, like I'm not a White Scars player, and this doesn't really make me want to play one. Like the way like the there's that the Imperial Fist Praetor makes me want to play fists, or like it's another one. Dark Angels one is super cool. My Lords ones have some really cool Legion specific stuff. Like this one doesn't make me want to go. Ooh, I want to play White Scar so I can field this guy.
It's because he's a librarian. Librarians are a bunch of nerds. Who wants to run those?
Yeah, it's like, well, telepathy is OP, but that's kind of it. It's like one psychic discipline that's super strong, and the rest is kind of like, oh, that's cute. +1 toughness, yay. Or sorry, +1 strength, yay. But yeah, yeah, he's fine. Not an epic thing, which is nice. Kind of tired of random epic previews for the past 3 months.
But you don't like talking about the drop pods and the Bane blades and the Titans and the Aeronautica. All the
No,
models that we've seen before.
no.
Well, let's go on to something you haven't seen before, and that is the new AOS model here, the Ghoul. Got the old British court wig on, made out of intestines.
Yeah, this is a great model. This is one of those like super like I think leaning into like the Flesh Eaters lore of they think they're nobles, but they're not. So this guy thinks he's like a judge, but clearly he has a wig of intestines, which is super gross if you think about it. Like, what kind of creature did he murder to like get this much intestines and is wearing them as a hat now? That's kind of gross. But yeah, no, it's a perfect embodiment of what they are. Also, there's a lot of models recently that have rule books on them. And where the Caradron guy, the Night Haunt guy, kind of have your little like law court with Age Sigmar models.
Can have a little book session, little book club.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting model. Get all this flesh quartz, yet still no other new models. So we haven't even gotten those models from the leak that we saw a couple, what, 2 months ago now.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, it's time to get into the 100% accurate prediction here. So this Friday through Saturday, just 2 days, they're gonna have a bunch of reveals. 40k AOS, 30k Old World, Underworld, Kill Team, and Necromunda. Almost every game. Let's see. Shall we make our start from the bottom, make our way to the top?
let's do it.
Necromunda.
New gang.
You think it's gonna be
Completely
a
new
straight up new
gang.
gang?
New gang that we've never seen before.
I'll write this just so we have a record here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Necromunda. John, new gang. Uh, I'm gonna not say a new gang. I'm gonna say it's gonna be more vehicles for the Ash Waste, because we're still missing what are they called? Fanatics. We're still missing the Fanatics vehicle. They haven't gotten theirs yet.
That's true.
Flyers got theirs. Uh, Squad's got theirs. If I was familiar, I'm sure I could name some others gang that hasn't gotten it, but I know all the gangs haven't gotten vehicles yet. So I'm gonna go with vehicles. Maybe a couple bounty characters, but the main thing's gonna be vehicles to round out the Ash Waste gangs.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll go with the new gang.
All right, Kill Team.
Tyranids, please. Please give me a Tyranid guild team.
You think it's gonna be Tyranids?
Yes. I'm just gonna keep saying it. Like, please, Tyranid guild team.
I think it's gonna be going by the rumors that I've heard. It's Nighthaunt and Dark Eldar, Mandrakes.
Nighthaunt?
Or wait. Did I say Nighthaunt?
It's Nighthaunt, yeah.
A Nighthaunt. Who are the Space Marines? The Terror ones?
Oh, Night Lords?
Night Lords. There you
Oh,
go.
that'd be interesting. Another Chaos Marine kill team.
Night Lords and Mandrakes are what I'm hearing in the grapevine for the next kill team here. And given the guy's track record, he's like an 80% sure shot. I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
It's gonna be a lot of crazy things coming to kill team, but because we're already getting the new kill team box has already been rumored for December. The Space Marines versus the Striking Scorpions. So if his rumor predictions are right, it should be new Mandrakes with against some Knights. Underworlds. What'd you think?
No, some new. I don't know. I really don't know. This one has like I can't find a trend for Underworlds. It is so random.
Yeah, it's kind of just. I mean, for me personally, it's just make cool models. Do not make boring models.
Yeah.
That is what I want. I mean, I don't want to see. I want to see models that have never been printed. Well, let me rephrase it. I want to see them in a different pose. Like I don't want to see freaking chain ras model in there that looks like I can get something out of the old starter box kind of deal. I want to see a brand new pose. I want to see interesting models. Make something up if you have to. Use some of the Warcry bands. Use some of them. Those all have interesting characters that you could flesh out a bit more. In my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that's all I want because AOS, Warcry, Underworlds, I mean they all fall under the AOS umbrella.
Right.
They all have, for the most part, 90% of the time, great looking models. So I mean that's all I want. And that's what I hope to get. I hope to get a cool, interesting looking team. But let's go from that to Old World.
Tomb Kings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to shoot for Tomb Kings as well because they got to do it eventually.
Yeah, they really do.
They're, Bretonnians and Tomb Kings were like the launch of Old World. They're like, yeah, guys, we're bringing them back. They're gonna be good. So I assume we're gonna. I'm trying to think of what they would update. What they could update in the line.
Just skeletons and skeleton horsemen, skeleton archers. Like you do those, the army is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. John's 100% right. Show off new skeletons. Archers, spear, sword, horsemen. I think those were the only things that needed to be updated besides the characters.
Literally all you need. Do not just release the same thing. Like that is all you need.
Since they're gonna show a character off, I want to see Queen Kalita. I want to see her redone. That was my go-to HQ for the Tomb Kings. I want to see her redone. So I think we're both on agreement on that. So yeah. Tomb Kings for that. Let's go AOS. What are we thinking? I mean, they've been doing the Dawn books, so.
Flesh Eaters.
Flesh Eaters?
Yep, the whole range that they're going to redo.
I mean, with all the rumors that we've seen, has to be time. Has to be time for the Flesh Eaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the leak of those ones with halberds. They've gotten another character. I'm pretty sure last month they got another character. I mean, it's time. It's Flesh Eater Courts finally being announced. So let's go for the next one. Let's go with yours here. Horus Heresy.
The new army of plastic solar auxilia.
Plastic humans, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be plastic humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Ascended Logar.
I would love that, but I'm gonna go with plastic humans.
Yeah, I mean yours sounds more plausible, but if I was to put a serious answer in, we're gonna get a tank.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of tank. I'm not familiar, but it's gonna be a tank.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe some random Space Marine hero. That would be my guess. And then lastly, 40k. If I had to guess, Chaos and Orcs related would probably be my guess. Or it'd be Imperial Guard. It'd be one of those three. Definitely two of them being revealed though. So I believe those were the next armies. I think it was Orcs, Dark Angels, Chaos, and Imperial Guard. I think were the next four armies after Bronze and Admech. So I think we're gonna see Chaos and Orcs.
Yeah, I think that
would be my prediction.
Yeah. No real comment.
No real comment. I know. Don't worry. I didn't have any real comment on Horus Heresy, but yeah, I go with the meme of a tank.
Lorgar. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what 40k would want besides just the next code. I don't think they're doing anything crazy like Votan level anytime soon. I think they should just focus on the cruise control of codexes.
No, they're just gonna reveal. They're gonna reveal the next two codexes that'll come out, and then they'll probably have, couple units, like one unit each.
Yeah.
Being either revamped or a new character.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, I would say Orcs would probably get a new Beast Naga unit if they get revealed. Everyone else would probably just get a new character. IG would get a revamped unit. Rumor is, again, rumor. What do they call it? Tempestus Scions are getting a jump pack unit in the near future. So, they could show that off. But I doubt it. But those would be my predictions, depending on what they show. If it's Dark Angels and Chaos, I assume it's going to be a new character. If it's Orcs or IG, it's gonna be a new unit, or for like Beast Nagas or NIG. Those would be my predictions. But yeah, it is a jam-packed week coming up. Lots of things. 30K finally, 30K Epic finally coming out.
Finally coming out.
Kill Team possibly coming out. Hands on new Scorpions maybe if I need another 10. Give me a nice number of 30. And yeah. That's all the 40K, or not 40K. That's all the Warhammer news that I have. You got any other Warhammer news?
Warhammer news? No.
Right then, what about any other news?
So Star Wars Legion, they finally released the release date for the next Legion release, which are the Geonosians. You got 3 guesses, Matt. When are they coming out?
When are they coming out?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna say February.
Okay, that's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. February.
Damn.
Okay, that's it. Let's dive more because you got the month right. Like, what's the date? What's your guess?
Yeah.
Or like even a general area, like first week or whatever.
Let me pull up a calendar here. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna assume they release on a Saturday, so I'm gonna say
They
these.
release on Thursdays.
They release on Thursdays. Okay.
Thursday or
The
Friday.
15th,
No.
the 29th,
Yes.
the last
The
day.
next. Yep. Of February. The next Star Wars Legion release is on February 29th, 2024. Nothing is coming out until then. No updates are gonna come out, which they have announced. Like, dude, my gosh, it is hard for me to get hyped about this game. I mean, I've been also playing it a lot, but it is hard for me to continue the hype. Maybe just because I like working on stuff. I like working on new stuff. Yeah, there's just nothing coming out that make. Yeah, it's. I think the game needs a new edition, to be quite honest with you, but like it's kind of too much cruise control right now for Legion. I think the game needs just shake up. I was actually talking about this with some buddies, and besides Empire, all the other factions have kind of one list archetype that does really well. It's Triple Magnus for droids. It's Ahsoka Cassian for I guess there's also Ewok spam, but that's like a sub faction. But for general rebels, you kind of need Ahsoka and Cassian, and for Republic, you need Anakin or Yoda. You need Anakin or Yoda, and then you build your list. Otherwise, you just won't do well. So for Empire is the one faction that has variety in list, but for the other factions they don't, and I think the game needs a shakeup. So and Geonosians are gonna be that, I think, but yeah, they're not coming out until February 29th. Like, it's a long time.
Well, Geonosians are just part of the droid army, right?
They are, but they have enough stuff that if you make a full Geonosian army or an army where the core is Geonosians, it'll play very differently from droids. I hope it's good, first of all, because it would kind of suck if it's not a viable competitive choice for a competitive game. But yeah, at least even if they're good, then it's another way the faction can play. But not coming out until 29th it does suck, to be quite honest. Pretty I am not happy. I'm not mad, but definitely does not help with the lack of Legion hype.
Well, I mean, for such an expanded universe, there's very little to put in, right? You could do so much, but not that many factions out there to do a whole army of. I mean, I guess they could do the whole like Wookiee army,
Which they've done, but having more of even that army hasn't really crashed the competitive scene. But I think like mercenaries, having what else? I guess for I think Geonosians is good. for clones you can do like clone commanders are coming out, right? But for big yeah for you but you're right though, for big factions they just gotta do the sequels like First Order and Resistance.
Yeah, but that's very limiting as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I
that's
think
not gonna that's not going to expand the game for much longer.
yeah, I think what's gonna help the game really has to be a new rule set and a new edition of Legion.
Maybe. I wouldn't want them to change it up too much. I don't want to. I wouldn't want a warm a horde situation.
That's fair. That's fair. I think thankfully the game is in that the amount of units is good. There's not like a bloat
Bloat.
in units for Legion. I think shaking up the game, not too much, but enough. Like maybe expanding unit sizes, maybe reworking how vehicles work. I think the movement in the cover system I actually really like, so I hope they keep that. The core of the game could stay the same, but just like maybe again expanding the size, reworking specific facets of it like vehicles, adding more missions would be great. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, this is the for a game where the big part of it is the mission cards, right? Like that's gonna be a big question for the new edition because typically missions change in new editions of games. So all those cards needs what are they gonna do with them, right? So
Do you think Star Wars Legion would benefit from a system like what GW does with a 6 month meta shakeup every 6 months?
yes, actually, I would think Legion needs a points update every 4 months, but
I think that's a
might be
bit too
like
much.
maybe a lot. Yeah, yeah. I think twice a year would be good. Like guaranteed twice a year, having an errata and points update would really help because
Well, I think a
yeah, again,
mission update would be good too.
mission update would be or just adding more missions. Like the last time we had a new set of new missions for Legion was before the pandemic. It was like 2019 or like early 2020. And yeah, it's almost it's 3 years. It's been 3.5 years since they came out, and the game that I think really needs more missions. Like maybe missions that help large base units, maybe missions that I don't know. Like I'm not a game designer, I play games, but I think the game needs more missions or just an errata or something. The game just needs a shake up, like a big shake, not just one new unit, but like reworking how units are and all that. I think yeah. Otherwise, the game is kind of feels. I'll be honest, it feels kind of stale right now from a big perspective. I mean, I still have fun playing it, right? But looking at the game as a whole, like there's not much really going on, and not much will go on until February 29th because they confirmed they're not having any new updates to the game until the World Championships, which is in Adepticon next year.
Hmm.
So the next change is going to be the release of Geonosians, which is February 29th, right? And assuming there's no delays or anything.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say, right? Because if you introduce too much change, you could lose your core audience. And vice versa, you don't do anything with the game, it becomes stale and you lose your audience. So it's a hard balance to do a tabletop game like this. Any game really, but just gotta find that perfect balance. And I mean, I don't know how the tournament scene. I assume is good, but is it like a packet like at 40K where you have
No, it's the
set?
mission cards.
It's always mission cards.
Always mission cards, yeah. Which I love that part of the game. We just need more mission cards, right? Because yeah, yeah, you played Legion. You know the mission cards where you lay them out and you like ban something, and then after people ban twice, the leftmost ones is the mission with the condition and the deployment. We just need more of that because I mean, there's a lot of it, right? But for people who play a lot, and tournament people play a lot too. Like it's it gets kind of samey.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see
Yeah.
what. No, well, I guess the 29th is just the release of Genotions.
Yeah. Then we'll see afterwards. Is there any big shakeup happening? I hope there is.
Have they mentioned anything about it? Maybe a shakeup will happen.
All they said is no update will come before the World Championships. But the annoying part is like that could just mean a basic points update, you know?
Well,
So yeah,
at
like
worst,
I
that's
want
probably what it's gonna be. It's just a point update.
say again.
I said at worst, that's probably all it's gonna be. It's just a point update.
Exactly. Right, right. I think Legion needs more than points updates to make the game more exciting.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Any other news out there for other games? Whatever happened with Warmachine? Are you still following that?
Yeah, I follow their Facebook group. They're still releasing stuff. They actually started releasing battle boxes again, the one Warcaster, two Warjacks, which is nice. I think the game is in like just a I think it's not going to grow any bigger. I think it's just going to have its following, and yeah, it's really hard to recruit people for that game. I don't really see any growth in like events and stuff. It's always the same people playing from what I see. I don't play the game, so maybe it's a skewed view, but yeah, it's definitely, again, like it's not as big as it was. They're still releasing stuff. Hordes factions have come out now. There's like pirate trolls and these weird like snake creature things. I don't know how to describe them, but no cricks yet for me. Kador is getting stuff, which is nice. The game is in an interesting place. It's fun to see them, how we know their new designs and stuff, and it's a fully 3D printed game, and you can really tell that it's made by people who prioritize the hobby in the game more than being a business, which has hurt them in the past. What I mean by that is they just released online only set of alternate post war jacks of like the base war jacks. Yeah, which is cool. I think that's a nice thing to do, but definitely not. I don't think it's the best way to maximize profit, but it's definitely something that's good for the hobbyist, which is it's good to see.
See, I see. Yeah, I'm on their website right now, just looking at old models right now. Thing is, they're probably still selling metal models, aren't they, on their site? Or have they
No,
gone
they're
full?
phasing out everything that's not new anymore.
Hmm. Where I still see some old models on here though.
Yeah, so once that's gone, they're not making anymore
Got it.
on their online store.
All right then. Well, shall we go to Hobby Rants then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. We'll start with you. What's up? What's going on?
Haven't played much games recently. Been busy on the weekend. However, I did. Yeah, I'm working on my 8 Siege of Sigmar. I'm making progress on their basing. I finished the shields for one squad. I think I'm gonna work on the shields for the other squad. But before that, also working on some battle tech. I finished 3 lances. Now I'm working on a 4th lance, and I think after this, I think I'll just paint a couple more models, and then I'll be painting battle tech. Well, after this lance, I feel like I have enough to like really have a good amount of models. So I haven't played a full game, but it's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna keep painting it until Epic comes out. By then I'll have definitely what I want, and I'll shift to Epic and still be working on my Season Sigmar. How about you?
Uh, well, painting my one model a day. I've
There you
almost finished up the 10-man unit of Grimghast Reapers. So
go. Nice.
once they're done, it'll just be the Briarthorn crew and some some Banshees, but after that it'll be going into 40K. I got some warp spiders I need to paint up. Some jet bikes. All models I never really used back in the day, so get those ready because the LVO right around the corner. 2 months. That's all the time I have to get ready. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of practice games I need to get in as well. Because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played much at 10th edition. Play a game like maybe once or twice a month, and just given where I play, we have like 2 gaming tables, so majority of the time we're just doing like doubles, just because it's either like there's either 3 of us or there's 6 of us, so we're either doing a team battle or we're doing a 2v2, 1v2, or a 2v2, and then another 2 people will do like a bigger game on another table. I mean, it all depends on who shows up, kind of deal. But I haven't had much play with my full army, so it's Eldar. So it doesn't take any skill, from what I hear. So I think I'll be okay in the tournament, but I feel like I need a little more time to cook up my list. But I gotta get that submitted soon to the judges, so it's all approved and everything. But yeah, I think after I finish my Night Haunt 500 points this month, that's what I'll be jumping to next. I haven't talked about this, but I've talked about it in the past, but I haven't talked about it yet. Current update. So I kickstarted a Resident Evil 2, 2 board game. No, Resident Evil 1. I don't really remember. I kickstarted it. Project successful. I've been waiting for it to ship to me. And yeah, it never shipped to me. And I was, getting upset about that. So I messaged the people who made the game. And they're like, "Oh, we didn't send it to you because you didn't pay the shipping fee." I'm like, that seems kind of weird, considering I've paid for the entire game. I've been paying for all the other stuff. So, my fault, I guess, right? I guess I missed the email where I had to pay the shipping fee.
Mm-hmm.
So, guess how long it took them to send me the invoice to pay the shipping fee?
A month.
Exactly. It took a month.
Wow. That's crazy.
Because I sent them the message. Took a little bit over a month, like a month and 2 weeks. It's a month and a half, basically. I sent them a message trying to figure out why my thing hasn't shipped, even though it said it was paid for in full and everything. They're like, send that message out 2 weeks later. They're like, "Oh yeah, you didn't pay the shipping fee. Send us your information, and we'll get you the invoice and everything." Do that. 2 weeks go by. Send them another email asking, is something wrong? Is there a reason why I haven't received the invoice yet? Dead silence for a whole another week. They go to the Kickstarter forums, complain about it. They're like, you should gotta go to the Discord. The Discord will be able to get you the thing. So go over to the Discord, talk to someone on the Discord. They're like, "Yeah, we'll get in touch with you. I'll ping this support team." I don't know if they ping the support team or not, because they never talked to me again. But I finally got it paid for last week, and I should be receiving it tomorrow. Finally, after 2 months of waiting, I finally get the board game that I paid for. Just because I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and I really want to paint the models up. like I did
Very
for the Resident Evil 3 board game. I'm just a little upset that it took this long
That's fair.
for something that was literally could have been solved in one email in less than a day. But so yeah, that's finally coming in. So I'm excited to pick that up, play that, paint that up. Other than that, gaming wise, I know the AOS game is coming out or it came out. Have you had a chance to see it or play it?
Which one?
The AOS Realms
Oh
of
no, it's
Ruin.
out. Is it out on the 17th?
Is it the 17th? I thought it was out already.
Is it? Because if it is, I'm gonna buy right now.
Realm Ruin release date 17th. My mistake.
Okay.
Friday.
There we go. This Friday. Let's go. I'm gonna play that for sure.
That's coming out, and then of course, depending on what your review of the game is, I might pick it up earlier, but I'm definitely waiting for the other Warhammer game that's coming out next month. The Rogue Trader game.
Right? Yeah, that one's gonna be great.
That one has me more excited.
Yeah.
Though, don't get it twisted. I hope Realms of Ruin succeeds because God knows we need a true RTS or
right.
Warhammer game to come out.
Right.
Freaking I'm blanking on its name right now. Hold on. Total War has been dropping the ball like hardcore. We haven't been talking about them much, but yeah, they've been dropping the ball hardcore with all their $20 DLC for like 3 characters that have been coming out. And the campaign wasn't even that good in Total War 3. I prefer Total War 2, but I mean, no people didn't like that one either. So Realms of Ruin, I hope, I'm praying that you are the Dawn of War successor that we are hoping for, the Dawn of War 3 successor that we're hoping for. Since we never got Dawn of War 3. Yeah, that is that. Probably be doing some 40K this week. Let's hope it doesn't rain too hard. It's expected to rain this week, so don't want to be driving out there with all those maniacs, but that should be going on. We've got a long weekend this week, so I'll probably, if I put my mind to it, I should be able to finish up my 500 points of Night Haunt for this month. I'll, of course, just like last time, post it to Instagram so everyone can admire it, trash it, whatever you want to do. And yeah, that's all I've got. Anything else you want to add?
That's it.
All right then. Well, I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end, and we'll see you next time.
Later, everyone.